I grew myself. So yeah, some of this is my stuff, and then I got my spices. This is going to be the best restaurant in Lora.
Now these spices are the ones that you sell?
I do.
And you mix them?
I do, yeah, and I used to do them myself in my kitchen. In fact, when my son Finn was like 4, he would, and Ella when they were little, they would help me, but that is not legal. So now here we have a...
I thought it was cottage industry.
Well, you would think, and it's not just because of the child labor thing, but yeah, they are my recipes, but I now have a company in Savannah that packages them for me.
Nice.
So and I've been doing that now for 15 odd years, I guess, so it's a fun hobby.
So do you go from historical location to historical location?
I would
because
love
I know
that.
you've spent time at the old Mule Barn.
Yeah, the Mule
and
House.
now here you are.
Yeah,
Mule House.
Mule House.
Excuse me, yeah.
It was a barn a long time ago, so it's not, you weren't wrong, but we're, yeah, it's called the Old Mule House, and of course the Woodbridge Inn prior to that, so
I didn't even mention the Woodbridge
well,
Inn.
I hadn't noticed a trend, but I think you're right. It is, I tend to spend a lot of time in the old building, so I don't know what's up with that, but I love it, and I think the more that we can preserve and restore and honor and make them part of our community again, the better. I mean, where else can you find hardwood floors with these high ceilings and it's a beautiful building. They don't make them like this anymore.
Ask Vicki why she landed in Ball Ground, because of its historical value.
So that's what you ended up here because of it?
And ask Vicki, is she president of the Historical Society?
I feel like I'm hearing a voice in my
Yeah,
head.
it is. It's strange. I'm hearing the same voice.
Yeah.
I am the president currently of the Historical Society of Ball Ground.
And how important it is to maintain.
Well, the preservation and restoration of homes like this is a big deal. Of course, you know, we're a tiny little organization. It's not like we can go out and fund anything. And Lee Luskin spoke to us as a group a couple of times now. And he and Brittany are like a force of nature of preservation here
No,
in
and
Ball
yeah,
Ground.
they do seem to
So
be
we are really,
helm.
well, he's a godsend. I'll just say it, a godsend.
That's fantastic. Somebody has to have that passion and that drive to do it, otherwise they get knocked down for cookie cutter homes.
Well,
just
I'm
goes
looking
away.
at these board walls and these high ceilings, and it's beautiful. They
Yep.
do not make homes like this.
Hans, can you tell Vicki a little bit about the chef here? Because he has a little history.
He does. So the gentleman that is kind of at the helm here food-wise is a guy named Chris Dowling, who worked with me at Woodbridge and worked with me at Mule House. And I have had, much like my father, I've had this passion for teaching people that are interested in learning about food. And there's, you know, it's like with anything, there are people that can learn it, and there are some people that just have it. And of the 2 dozen that I've trained over the years, not to put him on the spot, but he is one of the best, and also one of those that just got it, like from day one. And he's done a lot of events with me, and usually if I'm training somebody, they'll do something and I have to say, it's good, but it needs this or it needs that. With Chris, it's spot on every time.
Now, what would be different, say somebody goes to culinary school,
Right?
that you would do to train them that they're not going to pick up in the classroom or in the kitchen at culinary
That's a
school?
good question, and not to knock culinary school, but I did an old-fashioned apprenticeship, which, you know, a lot of tradesmen do, and I would say that it's a little more difficult, and it requires a lot more patience on both ends, both the student and the teacher, but it's less in the book and more in the kitchen.
In the kitchen.
And I think that's where you learn, and you learn, I always tell people it's like how a dog learns where the invisible fence is.
Right.
You have to get shocked sometimes. You have to make something bad. Because if you're only going by a recipe and it's perfect every time, that's one knowledge. But learning what not to do is sometimes more important, so you know where are those boundaries. You know?
When you get my age,
You know what not to do.
you know what not to do.
Tell Hans about your local chef.
What are you talking about, my local chef?
When Vicki looked for
The lady that
houses,
cooks for me,
Mhm.
delivers food.
yeah, when we were looking for Vicki a new home, I'd say it's not within delivery radius.
That's exactly how I
Yes.
ended up where I am.
Yes,
It had
yes,
to be within a
yes,
certain
yes. Hey, Rick.
distance, or she was
Hey,
never
Rick.
ready.
Hey, how are you?
I'm dressed real well.
Oh,
You're
awesome.
better than I am.
Awesome, awesome,
It's hot over
awesome.
short.
Isn't this beautiful?
It is. I was saying that, you know, I worked at Gourmet for 20 years.
Did you? Really?
Jenny Gourmet. Jenny
Yeah.
Biden.
At the bank?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Jenny babysit me.
I love that. I've heard that story. Yes, I
No,
love it.
Lora was, you know, the community building,
Mhm.
she was responsible for that.
Mhm.
She's very active in the community. I really hated that she got sick and died.
And what a joy that this is walking distance to downtown Lora.
It is.
Oh my gosh, it's fantastic.
Well,
gonna be the
I'm thrilled that it's been saved.
Yes, yes,
Because
yes.
Lee, he did a good job.
Yeah,
here, so
yeah.
I'm real happy.
And you know the story, we looked at 4 other places before and I said, this is why nothing else worked, because this one is perfect.
Well,
It's absolutely perfect, yeah.
I can even walk here from my
Oh,
house.
I know.
And she has this as an event room. What a great idea.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
is needed in town.
It's
too.
And I
awesome.
think we're christening it this evening.
We are.
So, are you?
I'm Hans.
This is
We met
Hans
the other day.
Rueffert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the old mule.
The old mill house.
Oh, you know.
Yeah, I guess that's my new.
I've enjoyed the okra there.
Oh, good. Well, we're doing that tonight. Actually, what we're doing, yeah, that's my.
Hey, Chris.
We were here all the time, so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Glad to be here.
We just,
He might be our mayor extraordinaire.
This is Mayor Rick Ron.
Oh, yeah, we
You
did.
know that.
We
Okay.
did, yeah.
All right, all right.
I don't know, let's see who runs against me in August.
I ain't nobody gonna run against you.
You're not losing your enthusiasm, are you?
Well, 4 years ago, I said, this is my last term, but there's so many things going on now that I want to see.
You're too young to quit, young man.
I'm older than you are.
You're not. Nobody's older than me.
I'll vouch for that. Nobody's over
I'm
there.
sorry. I'm sorry.
I've known Hans since he was 4 years
Yeah,
old, and
really,
I said
truly.
it's so funny because that's been a long flipping time ago.
Yeah.
Younger than me.
44 years ago.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Of course she is. She's always recording.
Well, I just love my 89-year-old mother. She's had issues with people staying with her and all kinds of health things, so I rushed in and made her dinner, and I said, I gotta go.
How precious.
Then
How
I'll
precious
get
that
here
you
in
still
time.
have your mother.
Well,
How precious, yeah.
I'm not a very good nurse. I think it's my ADHD that kicks in
Yeah.
after about 30 minutes.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
gotta go.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
you two
yeah.
can relate on that.
Yeah, we are
But
dealing with
driving
the
up
same.
here, then 575 was shut down from an accident.
Oh, really?
So
Wow.
it was like,
Wow. Well, this is going to be a fantastic night. We can't wait for everybody to
I
try.
feel like I need to stay behind you.
No, no, no.
Let's